Alright, so for these two equations to find x and y, it's quite easy. You can use the substitute method, or you can use matrix to solve this problem. But in this case, I'm going to try to use the method called Cramel rule. So in order to do this Cramel rule method to find x and y in this case, first of all, we need to rewrite the two equations. So we can write like a1x plus b1y equal to c1, and a2x plus b2y equal to c2. So for this given equation, we know that. So a1, a2, b1, b2, and then c1, c2. It's gonna be 2, 1, 1, -2, and then c1 and c2 is 3 and 2, right? 3 and 2. So for Cramel rule, to find x, we need to write like this, and y is also the same. So what should we fill in? So in the denominator, it's gonna be the same, a1, a2, b1, b2, same for both x and y, a1, a2, b1, and b2. Here is b2. But for x, because we are solve x, so the coefficient of x right here, we're not gonna write a1 or a2, but we're gonna replace this with c1 and c2. Oh, it should be c2 right here. So I'm gonna write c1 and c2. So when we solve x, we're gonna replace the coefficient of x, which is a1 and a2, by c1 and c2, and b1 and b2 gonna be the same. We're not gonna change it because we are solving for x. And then now when we are solving for y, so it's time to change. So the coefficient of x is a1 and a2 gonna be the same, but the difference is, so we're gonna replace c1 and c2 by b1 and b2. Okay, did you get the formula? So when we are solving for x, so the coefficient of x, which is a1 and a2, gonna replace by c1 and c2, but when we're solving for y, the coefficient of y, which is b1 and b2, we're not gonna write b1 and b2, but it's gonna be c1 and c2. All right, so now the formula is that in the numerator, we're gonna have c1 multiply with b2 minus c2 multiply with b1. So it's going to be this diagonal, subtract to c2 multiply with b1, and then the denominator is just a1 b2. So we're going to multiply with this, and then minus this a2 b1. For y, the denominator is exactly the same, so it's a1 b2 minus a2 b1, but for the numerator, it's gonna be a1 times c2 minus c1 times a2. Okay, and now we can plug in the number of this particular two equations. So c1, look at here, c1 is 3, so we have 3 times b2 is -2 minus C2 is 2 right here, time, I put it into brackets so it's more clear, time B1 which is 1 right here, right? Divided by A1, it's 2, time B2 is negative 2, minus A2 is 1 right here. Can you see it? Okay, time B1 is 1 right here. So we're gonna have negative 6 minus 2 divided by negative 4 minus 1. So we have 8/5. Alright. And for the y, we have A1. Look at this. A1 is 2. Times C2 is 2 minus C1 is 3 time A2 is 1. Right, and then A1 is 2 time B2 is negative 2 minus, so we have A1 is 1 time B1 is also 1, so we have 4 minus 3/5 over negative 5, as I say. And then so we're gonna have it's negative 1/5. Okay, is this a correct number? True. So we have y equal to negative 1/5 and x equal to 8/5. This is the final answer.